Hey, to my one viewer. Just gonna wait here for a few minutes, for a few more. Gonna test it out and see if people like this. Gotta wait for. Feel free to ask questions. Chat stream is all not for. Gonna see if you guys like. Got questions about the weather, whatever. Talk about it. Questions down in the chat. Right, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and get started, even though I don't think those of you after the fact go ahead and start this up. So, gonna talk about the weather. I'll mostly still gonna go ahead and talk about the upcoming week. Stream is about today. Obviously, this today's almost over. Forecast period. Day one goes into early morning hours today. We have slight risk with across portions of Illinois. A little margin of risk up here. Move it over. Go ahead and bring it. You guys can got showers and thunderstorms across a large portion of the country, but it's all scattered around. See the severe weather. There's a thunderstorm warnings up here. Illinois, storms moving in from the west. Got Missouri with storms over here in Oklahoma, northeast. Here's our 2% tornado risk. St. Louis area. I doubt that any of the storms are going to be significant in terms of tornadoes. This has just been a very strange May. Really quiet, relatively speaking. Days except Nebraska and Iowa, but usually we see this stuff further into June, that far north. Hopefully, across the traditional tornado alley, Kansas will get some stuff later in the month. Now, got. So go ahead and take a look at the severe risks coming up next 8 days. So this is day one. Of course, day one's going to be over soon. Y'all are going to be going to bed here in the next several hours. So we're going to go ahead and click over to day two. We do have a marginal risk for wind and hail across northern Arkansas and southern Missouri, specifically Springfield general area. Not really anything to talk about there. It's a very marginal. Heavy rains have definitely been an issue lately. That's a lot of flooding risk. There's the national forecast map here. See that there's flash flood watches, whatnot across the map. Like we also have a severe thunderstorm watch. Illinois, South Central Illinois. That's what's going on. Valid until 10 p.m. this evening. You can see we got the severe thunderstorm going on. That's right now, and then day three, that severe risk pushes off to the east, Tennessee Valley and parts of the Carolinas, Georgia, even the upper portion, northeast portion of Alabama there. But it's been relatively quiet. You can see general thunderstorm risk throughout a good portion of the country. Then we'll go into the day extended outlook, day 4 through 8. Day 4 potential is too low. Then you get into day 5, 6, 7, and 8 period. There's a potential for severe weather. Too far out in the forecast period to really. It's been relatively quiet. No risk areas. It's really strange for this portion of May. Middle of May, we're coming into the last portion of May here. To see something like this is really unusual. I anticipate towards the end of May start to take a turn towards severe, more significant, just based on history in terms of a forecast. Who knows what's going to happen? Hoping we have something to chase. So far, May has been kind of a bummer. We have had a few cases here and there, but nothing significant to write. Those of you who are joining us in the stream, feel free to go ahead and write something if you've got questions. The stream is for you guys, so whatever y'all want to talk about, we can. Let's go over here to the GFS forecast model on Pivotal Weather. Go ahead and put a link to Pivotal Weather in. That's so you guys can take a look for yourself if you'd like to. I'm gonna have to write it up for the description to put in some of the links that we like to use. Another one is StatSquatch. There's a free version of StatSquatch. Go ahead and put that in here as well. So you guys can take back to GFS here. The pattern looks really strange. I can't seem to click. Not played. You can see this upper level system here. Most of this upper level, you really got some stuff right here over Texas. This starts to kind of fade away, get further into the forecast. Notice there's no upper level, hardly any upper level support here. Winds are generally west to east, no tilt at all. We have some stuff coming in here towards the middle of the forecast period, especially right over here over Texas. Shortwave troughs, but all the big major weather producers are staying to the north with this ridge, high pressure here. It's a very strange pattern. Continue. Look at this ridge. It just continues. See if I can open Epic Pan. And you guys can. See if it'll start up. We get this giant ridge right here of high pressure. And we got these little short waves that come through. Let me find out the short waves so you guys know what I'm talking about. Back. We have this right here over Texas. These little areas where there's some more significant winds at 500 millibars. You know, these little dips here. Got this little dip right here. Those are shortwave troughs that'll be responsible for any severe weather that comes through over the next week. But they're really marginal. Usually when we talk about real big severe weather setups, we're talking about these major troughs come through. But notice these are all pushing off to the north and northeast, and you get a major ridge of high pressure. So this pattern is really kind of strange for the middle of May. Hoping it changes. With this forecast, we don't really look at anything beyond a couple of days, but if you look out here all the way out to 366 at the end of the forecast period, that's all the way into the end of May. It's really weird. You got this, but it's getting blocked. All this stuff is kind of off to the east. Very strange weather pattern. El Nino, this shift to El Nino is kind of weird. A lot of moisture, but man, we're hoping something changes. Get some active chase days. Looking for one of those situations where it's several days in a row. But if it holds off until until the end of May, I'll be happy with that. We will see, I guess. See, let's take a look at some other things here. Yeah. Pull up our surface-based cape here. We've got lots of instability right now. That starts to go away over the traditional tornado alley, at least for now. Keep playing it here. We have some instability developing over in a few days towards the end of the week. Thursday, middle to. We'll see if this materializes into anything. We're looking at day 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We may get something. Question is how much and where. Forecast beyond 72, 96 hours are pretty useless. But it's at least there's a signal there that something might happen. Because we'll be there. Looks like it's going to be pretty boring for the next week or so. We'll just have to see. We're looking at really anything beyond the middle way of this is kind of useless. We're just going to have to play it by ear. Going back to the Storm Prediction Center for those who just joined. I'm going to go back and look at this. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to put them down in the chat. Live stream is for y'all. I'd like to do this every week if you guys are interested in that, but if not, then do it sporadically. Go ahead and take a look at the extended 4 to 8 day outlook. There's pretty much nothing in there right now of any significance. Really looking like a pretty dull pattern in terms of severe weather, which is good for you guys, but also there's not much for us to chase. So like I said, we're gonna have to depend on these little short waves that come through for our severe weather makers. I kind of have to hope that something happens. Let's take a look at the low-level jet, although I don't really rely on this more than a few days out like any of these other products. Looks really meager, almost nothing. And then we got a little bit of something right here, the Northeast Texas Panhandle, but that's really early in the morning. See if we've got anything. Most of this stuff kind of up here in the north. I don't really expect a lot of severe weather from that, though. It's too far to the north with moisture up there. Got these little waves coming through, but nothing of any significance. This is just really odd. Maybe here, but we're so far out in the forecast period there that I just don't trust it. But who knows? Let me take a look at our moisture dew point. I want to do the one with the. So this is our moisture. As you can see right here, this low pressure system right here, it's bringing all this weather over into Illinois and Missouri, Indiana. Lots of really deep moisture here wrapping around this low pressure system. That's what's responsible for the weather that's been going on for the last couple of days. And this, see, it's kind of moving off to the northeast there as it progresses through the time period. Lots of moisture, and then that moisture starts to go away with a front that's coming through. You see that cold front pushing in from the north, pushing that moisture back out to the Gulf of Mexico and back down into the southern portion of the country. Then you have this other front right here that's coming through, pushing the moisture out. So, and it really takes off and pushes it out almost all the way into the Gulf of Mexico until there's a little bit of return flow here towards the end of the period. So we're really pushing it here. Hopefully we get something. I mean, this pattern's really terrible. I don't know what else to say about it. If you guys get questions, feel free to let me know. If you want to talk about something else, we can talk about something else too. Go ahead and look at the current weather situation. This is MRMS radar, which is a radar multi-sensor on Radar Omega here. Tell it's not all that high resolution. Go ahead and switch it up on the only St. right at the edge. Do we? I'll go ahead and put this. Play it. See, you had the severe thunderstorm warning here. Tornado possible tag on. Zoom in and see why they got the tornado possible. Here along Interstate 7 near Salem, north of Interstate 64 and south of Interstate 70, east of St. Louis here. Go and zoom in. Velocity. Dude, there's a little bit of rotation here. Bit of rotation right here. Probably why they put the tornado possible tag on it. I don't really care for the tornado possible tag. It's not really useful. Most people. So basically they don't want to issue a tornado warning. There's some broad rotation and they think that tag in there. It is what it is. Mostly for us weather nerds. Radar Omega has included it, which is nice. So we can just look right here on this pop-up without having to go into the text. Usually if you're in Radar Scope, into the text, and not the case. I really like Radar. Why I got so many. If you guys have any questions about Radar Omega, I'd like to see more videos on it, feel free to let me know. See if I can make more videos. As far as this goes, the current weather situation, tornado risk across this area. Not look at the looking at the meso-analysis wind shear. There is some wind shear across parts of Indiana. but it's kind of in the southern portion of Illinois where there's less of a wind shear's less down here significantly. So why it's only this stuff up here. This stuff up here further south, then I would anticipate this have a higher risk, maybe 5%. But it's shifted off to the north here. Very small amount of shear. Not a lot going on. And you get this 200 SRH up here, and that's north of the storm system. So all these winds come more motion as a storm. Anyway, that's how this is thermodynamic. A lot of this is capped off. A lot of ability, and it's a little less capped in this general area. I imagine most of these wind and dew point. So you can see the shear is up here, and the dew points or moisture hasn't made it that not any further north than it is. Green is all the dew, brighter the green. No, because there's a lot of crap on this. Have any? I don't know. This is a real strange weather. Not particularly. That Squatch I really like to use. If I had like a there we go. Decided not to work for a minute. Go ahead and play this, and you can see all this storms, all the moisture that's up there. Complexes right there. Satellite. Trying to get it. Those of you who are joining, feel free to ask questions in the chat. Try to answer them, or if you'd like to see something specific, let me know and I'll try to answer questions. Right now, this is our IR satellite here on SatSquatch. You can see the spin in that, all this moisture wrapping around up into the central plains and then over into the Midwest. That's where this moisture is what's go. Essentially it. Going on. Not sure what else we can probably cut this off 30 minutes. You guys have questions? Not much to talk about in the weather space right now. Pretty boring. Also, if you guys would like to see camera, I don't have one right now in my camera. I want to see the camera and see me on camera for these live streams. Did it. Questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's see, storm chasing and all that kind of stuff. I did try to do a short little live stream here. Talk about what's coming. Be pretty quiet for the next week. There are little pockets of severe weather here and there, but for the most part, it is quiet. Yeah, SPC here, seeing our little bar of severe weather. Slight risk today, and then it goes to marginal for Monday and Tuesday, and then for the rest of the week, all the way till next Sunday, it's pretty much quiet. There are some signals that there might be something over that time period, but so far, nothing of any significance. Go ahead and satellite. If you have questions, please feel free to put them down. Hopefully, we get some more storm chasing. I know that's what you guys like to see. Like to see videos on Raider Omega. Came here, tried to those videos that I posted last year. You know, if you'd like to see something on Radar Scope or some of the other weather tools that we like to use, let me know and I'll make videos about those. Summer's coming up. I'm not going to be able to do home pretty much any hurricane. I like to cards for me. It's going to be a relatively boring summer unless there's severe weather pushing July and August. Maybe monsoon weather over into the desert, considering possibly doing some of that. If that's something that you guys would like to see, let me see if I can happen. In the meantime, we're hoping for severe weather towards the. I don't know. Right now, the pattern is quiet. Thanks to those of you who have just joined. Feel free to ask any questions. Don't know how much you guys enjoy this kind of content, but valid until o'clock. I don't know when they issued this. This is a mesoscale discussion. They've got their old SPC logo on here, which is kind of cool. That's for those of you who are unaware, these mesoscale discussions are usually what pop up for the nerds and the meteorologists in the community that talk about the potential for severe weather watches, either severe or tornado. Then they also do some after the watch has been issued. They'll issue follow-on. They'll issue follow-on mesoscale discussions to talk about the continuing threat of severe weather and anything might have changed. Thanks, Scribble Note, for your comment, and I appreciate you saying that this is cool. Let me know if there's anything that you would like to see. I usually, it's one of the first times I've done this in a while. I was thinking about maybe doing this every week. You guys are interested in it, but you know, I want to give you guys what you guys want to see. I know a lot of you want to see storm chasing, but I can only do that within a certain range until after you're out of school. I have responsibility, like all of you. Maybe whenever the kids are all out of the house, I'll be a lot more chase pretty much everywhere. Go back to the SPC here. There's different tools at the SPC that we can use. We can do storm reports. Storm reports for the day. Looks like today there's been lots of hail reports and lots of wind reports. Looks like we got some wind reports across Arizona. Interesting. But a lot of these reports, pretty much all of these reports for the hail are across Illinois, which isn't a surprise. Oh, you got a Tempest weather station. I have one. I'm actually looking at trying to get a different kind of weather station. And if I do, I show you guys, I suppose. But right now, it's just not all that not all that important in the big scheme of things. I want a different one that works a little. I found the Tempest works, but it has issues from time to time, so maybe they've improved it with the station. Yeah, there are no tornado reports today. Lost. Taking a look at their weather threat. I mean, May is just letting me down, letting all. Look at the severe weather climatology from 1980 to 2011 here. Now you get that bullseye target zone in western and central Oklahoma for 15th of May, and we've got almost nothing right now. Kind of a bummer. Yeah, Davis weather stations are usually pretty popular. They're really quality. They're also not that the Tempest wasn't expensive. Davis weather station is $500. There are some professional level weather stations that are like $5,000, but those are usually intended for emergency services. They will put them on a fire truck or something. That's what I'd like to have, but you know, I don't have 5,000 to spend on something, so I'm not. But it would be cool. Heck, me. Maybe one day I'll have a radar on my truck. That'd be pretty nice. Not gonna happen anytime. Never know. See that people keep coming and going on the line. You guys got more comments? You scribble note there for. Let me know if you'd like to see anything. Let's take a look at our severe thunderstorm watch across portions of southern Illinois. This severe thunderstorm watch was issued at 3 o'clock, so 5 hours ago. But it is effective all the way up until 10 o'clock Central Time. Primary threats are going to be scattered damaging wind gusts, scattered large hail. And according to the storm reports, that has been. Yeah. Tempest. My Tempest is sitting on the top of my shed. It works, but every now and then I gotta go back out there and reconnect it. I don't like getting up on the ladder to do that, so I just kind of leave it out there and let it do whatever it does. I don't look at it as often as I used to. I'd like to get one of those with the display I can hang on my wall, but that I can also use to look at the data on my computer over a length of time. I'd really like to store the data servers for long-term data collection. Probably not going to happen anytime. I don't have the most. Got other things I've got to take to the house. You can see our storm reports kind of scattered all across the map here. But now that we've got a few more people, let's go ahead and take a look at our current convective outlook. And we keep going back to it for those of you who might have been on here for a little while. But, I mean, we got slight risk today, but nothing significant in terms of tornadoes. Current day 2 is marginal. The day 3 is marginal. The 4 to 8, there's nothing on it. No severe weather threats that are at least 15% in that time period. Not. Got our thunderstorm out. Don't really pay much attention. Oh, what a day. The month of May has been really lame. So no, the Omega block is still kind of there. Let's go back and look at the GFS real quick. Let me go back to 500 millibar chart. You can still kind of see that you've got. I can't view any. Can I view more than continental? Maybe I can view all of North America here. You can still see the Omega block on continental view here. Um, let me get in here. So you got this giant blob of low pressure, and then this one over here, and it's just kind of developed this ridge across the central North American continent here. So we're relying on these little short waves inside here, and then little troughs inside that for our very marginal severe weather threats so far. Let's take a look at the forecast for this. I haven't used this map before. Let's see what the forecast shows for this Omega nonsense. Looks like it stays there for the most part, and it's still kind of, you see this little trough here, but I mean, that's not really going to help us too much. That ridge just kind of stays in place and continues to block these systems and make them go up and around up into Canada, which is kind of irritating. Hopefully this pattern breaks, because I really like to see some weather and get chasing in. Real chasing, not this garbage we've dealt with the last couple of weeks. You can see that ridge just kind of sticks around. It's almost like a summer-like pattern, but with a little bit of severe weather scattered. Kind of a pain. Go ahead and play. That's a little fast. Go here. Kind of sticking around. I don't get it. Well, when it does finally break, we'll hopefully see some bouts of severe weather across the plains. That's what us storm chasers live for. Tornado outbreaks, right? I mean, we don't like to see the tornadoes hit in populated areas. We would rather see them out in western Oklahoma, where not that many people live. And we just get to see the dust, and the tornado goes away, and then we move on to the next one. It is what it is. Can't do nothing about it. I don't know. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. These forecasts could be wrong, especially the further into here you get. Further along, the higher these numbers go, the less accurate. I don't really trust it beyond 72 to 84 hours. After that, it's so basically that's what we've got. And back here to the satellite view, and gotta refresh it again. Yeah, I used to carry a lot more gear with me when I chased, but now I only carry 2 cameras on my laptop. One camera, the dash camera, so if you've watched any of the live stream, dash camera sits on the dash. Mount that I ordered from filmtools.com, and DSLR camera sits on my seat next to me, ready to go if I need pictures. There hasn't really been anything worthy of taking a picture except for that supercell we saw the other day. I do have a GoPro, but haven't been using it because I haven't been trying to film that kind of content. Vlog style content doesn't seem to be as popular on the channel. Live streams do, so I've just been kind of sticking with the live. That's what you guys like to watch. I want to wait just a little bit longer to see. Verbal, thank you for your comments and talking with me. Probably wait until 45 minutes. We'll wait another 5 minutes. Probably game. I've got to try and find something. Wanted to hop on, do a quick little stream for everybody. Talk about the weather. I want to play. Yeah. Hopefully we see some more severe weather and we can get in chasing. Serious chasing. ideal. I'll wait for 4 minutes here, and then I'm gonna turn off the stream. Move on with my day. Oh yeah, yeah, I hear you. It's the streaming has actually the streaming with inside the truck and actually been pushing the channel forward. Great, you know, past 1,000 subscribers. Very appreciative of all you guys. Never thought I'd hit 1,000. Hopefully, we can continue pressing forward and hit 2,500 and then 5,000 and continue on. Who knows? Who knows what the possibilities are? That's kind of where I'm at with it. I'm gonna chase whether I stream or not. I figure I might as well let you guys join in on the fun when I'm out there. I enjoy talking to everybody whenever we're out there, especially if it's sitting there and like the other day, that stream and it was just wind and lightning, a little bit of hail, and no, it was a fun time by doing it. Go ahead and get a few more minutes here, and then we'll see if anybody. Thanks for those of you who have joined or watching right now. Feel free to join the chat. Scribble's all alone in there. If you guys have questions or you'd like to know anything, really, happy to talk about whatever it is y'all want to talk about. Storm chasing, weather related, whatever, doesn't matter. Talk about it. You guys want to know what kind of equipment I use or what I'm driving, whatever, let me know. And questions. Yep, if nobody else joins on the comments, I'll finish out the rest of my day. Tropical weather usually happens in mid to late summer. Never know. Hurricane season goes from what, June all the way until November. So hopefully we get some beneficial rain out of it, and hopefully there's not a whole lot of season we've got coming up. Who knows what it's gonna be? Every year is different. Some are real busy and some are not so. Last year wasn't all that great for people who chase tropical weather. One day maybe I'll chase weather regularly. Don't have the ability to do. June is when hurricane starts. Actually, I don't know. Pull up the. Here are the names all the way through 2020. This year, first named. Yeah, I mean I can do that. It'd probably be like a just standard video live stream. Kind of difficult to do on a live. But yeah, I can. I mean, I don't really have a whole. Storm chasing is. You don't really need. Have some specialty stuff yet. Not probably what a lot of you would. I can definitely go over it. Not a whole lot to it. I don't know how long, but I'm more than happy to do it. I might have done it at one past. I don't know. I may redo it. Post form video, post edited video content. I'm not as good at it as Anyway, here are the current Atlantic hurricanes that Arlene, Brett, Cindy, Franklin, Dirt, Harold, Idalia, Jose. Yeah, I don't know how you're supposed to do that. Lee, Margot, Nigel, okay, Montana. That'll be it. The mic's cutting in and out. How about now? I moved a little closer to the mic. Or actually, I moved the mic closer to my mouth. If this works a little bit better. The USB mic shouldn't be cutting out. If it is, it's probably because I wasn't real close to it. Ooh, look, let's take a look at the wind scale. Types of damage due to hurricane winds. And we got Cat 1 through Cat 5. Pretty nifty there. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Maybe that's why some people have decided to jump on and off because they can't hear me very well. Yeah, this microphone I think is in its pickup area is very close to the mic, which is not something I'm used to. So, trying to get used to it. But I'm glad that that's better. But yeah, here we're looking at just the Saffir-Simpson hurricane wind scale. This is much different from the EF scale for tornadoes. And we got a Cat 1 through Cat 5. The difference between hurricanes ratings and tornado ratings is that you can measure the hurricane winds, whereas with tornadoes, it's almost impossible to measure those winds. And tornadoes are much more destructive, and they're much more difficult to get wind instruments in front of them, unless they're really big tornadoes, like really wide. Let's go ahead and actually, I'm going to take a look at the EF scale. I saw somebody in a Facebook group the other day, yesterday maybe, talking about looking at the radar and then showing that making a guess as to the rating of the tornado, which is not something that's really possible. Let's go ahead and look at the enhanced Fujita scale here on the National Weather Service. So the EF scale goes from 0 to 5, which we haven't had a 5 since 2013. Thank goodness. But here's the 3-second gusts. But it's more than just about wind speed, because the EF scale is a damage-based scale, and here are the damage indicators that are published. Of course, these are always changing. They're always adding them and modifying them, so this is just a general guide. And you can click on each one of these. I will go ahead and put this down in the chat in case you guys want to look at it. But these are the damage indicators. Small barns, farm buildings, 1 or 2 family. I mean, it's very detailed. Motels, masonry or apartment or motel, small retail building like a fast food. Think McDonald's. Matter of fact, let's look at number 8, and then it takes you to a page where you can. They are actually in the process of updating it, as far as I understand. Building construction and building codes are always changing, and they're always getting better. So they're going to have to always constantly update the EF scale. But this is kind of your typical construction for a small retail building. And they got a lot of this engineering-based stuff, so I don't understand it because I'm not an engineer. But you can kind of get an idea. The EF scale is not something that's where you could just look at the radar and say, oh, that's going to be an EF3 or that's going to be an EF4. It's not how it works. Even if they were to be, well, they have measured tornado wind speeds, but even if you measure tornado wind speeds, they're not going to use that information in the damage assessment because it's not a wind-based scale. It is a damage-based scale. For example, I think the El Reno tornado originally was rated a certain rating, and then they changed the rating, and people were questioning why it didn't get a certain rating because of the wind speed measured by Doppler radar. But that's not how it works. They don't use radar, whether it's mobile Doppler or fixed Doppler. They don't use radar wind speed estimates or wind speed readings to do these damage assessments. That's an entirely damage based. And based on the different types of construction, whether it was a quality construction or not, there's all kinds of stuff that goes into how they rate these tornadoes. I put a lot of faith and trust in the ratings, but they are human, so it's not always going to be perfect. But I do agree they're definitely in the process of updating this, which I think it's pretty much a constant. I mean, change is constant. It's the only thing that stays the same. But that's the EF scale. If you guys are curious, look like they have an EF scale website at SPC, and then they have a 95-page PDF here. I don't think I want to read through that, but there's a page for the damage ratings. There's all kinds of information on the SPC website. I mean, there's just plentiful info. You can go here on the sidebar and look at all the different I can't think. All of the different links that they have here. And you can see storm reports, national radar. Oh, that's cool. I think I've seen this before. You can just look at the national. That's pretty neat. I'm going to close that, though, because I don't want to look at it. But, looks like we still got a few people here. If anybody else would like to join in the chat, please feel free to do so. And if you guys are interested in me doing this weekly, let me know in the comments, and I will try to do this every week. Probably on a Sunday evening. If you guys have a better time of day that you would prefer me to do this, I will try to do it at a different time of day, maybe a little earlier than 8 o'clock. But that's just whenever I was able to get it done today. But it looks like we've got only a few people here, and we're almost up to an hour. I went a little over the 45 minutes that I was initially going to do this on. But for those of you watching this, hey, yeah, I don't think Scribble bites. I don't bite either, but hey, I appreciate those of you who are watching, even if you don't make your comments. I do appreciate you watching. But I'm gonna jump off of here and go get something to eat. What radars do I use? That's a good question. What can you explain your question a little bit more? Because there's only two types of radars that are available to us in the public sphere. We got the WSR-88D that's scattered across the country, and we also have terminal Doppler radars located at airports. But so maybe explain your question a little bit more. Like, I use Radar Omega to view the radar. I also use Radar Scope on my phone, but I'm not 100% sure what you're asking. Like software, okay. Radar Omega is probably my favorite, and the reason why it's my favorite is because I can zoom in, for example, and see street level, and it gives you the street names. If you zoom in far enough, like this is Iowa Avenue here and Winchester Road, wherever that happens to be, over here by the Waynesville St. Robert Regional Airport. But yeah, Radar Omega is like my favorite tool to use to view radar. And all you're doing with Radar Omega, Radar Scope, or GR Analyst, which is another one that I like to use. I'll go ahead and open it real quick. GR Analyst is it's probably like, it's outdated now. The interface hasn't changed in a long time. It still has its place, but it is expensive. It's like $250, but it's a one-time lifetime license. I still keep it, but I don't really use it as much anymore. I just stick to Radar Omega because you can customize Radar Omega to exactly how you'd like it to be. There's different things that you can view in Radar Omega. It's a lot more modern. And really, it's just overall a better platform. You can view weather models in here, satellite. There's just all kinds of stuff you can do. There's a few things I'd like for them to improve with Radar Omega. One of which is GPS location. Right now, if I want to view my GPS location on my laptop while I'm out chasing, I have to have Radar Omega open on my phone. That's not always ideal because there's other things I'd like to do with my phone. Even if I'm like sitting on the side of the road and I'm trying to see where we are, I'd really like to view that on my laptop and not on the phone, because maybe I need to make a call with my phone or whatever. But until they find a way to add the ability to have a COM-based GPS on here, it's going to be limited in terms of location. Does it show my Tempest on there in Texas? I am not showing them. I could probably see it on the Tempest website, but as far as here in Radar Omega, it's not going to show to anyone except you, I think. Device settings, because you can add the Tempest weather station, and it will pop up on here, but I think it's only visible. Yeah, so if you look down here at the note on the add a weather station, it says your device will not appear to other Radar Omega users. Only you can see the telemetry within Radar Omega. So I won't be able to see yours, and if I had mine, you wouldn't be able to see it. But if I went to the Tempest, I'd probably be able to find it. But I wouldn't know which one was yours, obviously. Eventually, I'd like to get the Cyclone port stuff on my vehicle, but I haven't seen it, so you see others. That's interesting. Maybe on... Well, hold on. Maybe if, like, you're viewing Cyclone port, like, if you click on one of these icons, like, right here, but this is different. This is the Cyclone port network. This is not your Tempest weather station, as far as I know. It might be... I don't know. I have to get more information on that, because as far as I know, it's not using that. But yeah, you can click on here if you've got the Cyclone port stuff set up, and view different cameras. I know some chasers like Vince will use Cyclone port and then stream through Radar Omega as an extra way to get more eyes on his stream. You got these different ones, like this one here doesn't have a camera. It doesn't look like. Yep, that's something I've been interested. I need to email them and find out how to get involved in that project. I just not gotten around to doing it. But it is a neat. I can't talk. It is a pretty neat thing to have here in Radar Omega. So yeah, no Tempests. I don't think Tempest is. Tempest is good. I really need something that's mobile. And Cyclone port offers that, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Plus, it costs money, so maybe if the channel takes off and I start getting money from Google, but for now, just gonna continue as I am. Severe weather outlooks here in Radar Omega, but I'm gonna pretty much end the stream now. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you, Scribble, for keeping me company. And I am going to hop off of here and go find some dinner, a late dinner. And if you guys would like for me to do this again next week, I'll be more than happy to. Please feel free to leave a comment on the video after the live is over, if you would like to see me do this again next week. Or find any of the other videos that I've posted and leave a comment there. I appreciate everybody, and I will see you guys either the next time we go chasing or maybe next week whenever I might do this again. Oh, Stuart Polk. Okay. I'll stay live if you want me to, Stuart. I have no problem keeping around. All right, I'll stick around if you want to watch a little bit more and talk a little bit more about what's going on. I don't mind. I don't mind. I will keep on as long as there's somebody in the chat who wants me to keep going. I will keep going. I just there was only one person in here there at one point, Scribble, and I was getting kind of hungry, but I don't mind sticking around if you want to talk, ask questions and whatnot. I will stick around a little bit longer. Oop. I don't know what you're trying to say. Oop. I don't get that. Is that a... I'm not sure what that is. I do need food. But I did have some Red Baron pizza things. They're not actual pizza, but it's like a piece of bread with pepperoni and cheese on top. I had some of that earlier before I got on here and hopped on the stream, but it really wasn't enough to really fill me up. No, yeah, I mean, this next time I'll probably schedule this stream instead of just hopping on it. That way it gives time. Okay. Oh, in Wisconsin. But yeah, next time I may schedule it so that you guys actually have a chance to know when it's going to be on. I just didn't want to schedule it for like 8 or 9 o'clock and then not give people time to hop on, so I just went ahead and started it. But if I do this again next week, I'll try to schedule it, and I'd really like to have a thumbnail for the live stream, but I gotta see if I can get one created. I had one for the Raider Omega video I did a few weeks ago, or maybe that's been over a month now, but I need a new thumbnail for just plain live streaming. So anyways, I will hop off of here, and I will be back either the next time we chase or maybe next week. I appreciate you guys, appreciate the comments, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night. And happy Mother's Day for everybody out there who's a mom.